So we are still here at the Paarl Travel and Tourism Expo, and it's so lovely that we have another guest here with us, and I'm so excited to talk to Darren from Paarl Trails. Darren, so lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Darren, Paarl Trails, tell me, why? Why Paarl Trails? Where did it all start and
I
why?
don't know. I think we moved, decided to uproot our family in 2017 and moved down here. And I was always in the sports industry, so we had trails and parks up there. And I used to come and do a race down here called the Boulder mountain bike race. And that's how I got to know the town. And every time you visit this town, it just takes hold of you a little bit more and a little bit more. And we then decided this is where we'd like to move to. And then we moved down here. You automatically see, just how amazing it is. Wim Albee, the owners of Reebok's Kloof, and Charles Back actually convinced us to move down and wanting to build trails in that down here. So we started there, and they were really instrumental in making it happen. And so it started pretty small. I think when we arrived here, if I'm correct, there was about 5 or 6 kilometers of mountain bike trails and trail running trails. And now we sit with over 200, it's been an amazing, obviously a lot of hard lessons learned, a lot of building community. I remember everybody always asks, how did you get all the landowners to agree to this? And I think it's pretty simple, is the landowners love the town like we love the town, like we all do, and they just want the best for the town. And a lot of them have got tourism venues, whether it be restaurants and accommodation and all that, and the trails have become a foundation for that. It's been it's a channel that they can market. I mean, I remember coming down and going to see a lot of the farm owners, and this English little lighty goes around and speaks, and he's like, no, what will you do with the mountain bike of my place, But we got then somebody very special to us is Wim J.D. Kirsten from the Kirsten family, and Wim J.D. saw what we wanted to do and the vision around building this network, and he put me in his bucky, and we spent weeks and months going around to see landowners, and he would say, listen here, let's give these guys a chance. So there's just so much special memories around it, and how the journey's evolved, and obviously we're still writing the story. But we're very blessed and honoured to be able to do what we're doing and have a tourism forum and a municipality that supports us the way that we do, and landowners and members. It's very special. I don't think people realise how special this town is.
When I hear about your journey, Darren, I just hear how important it is to have partnerships. Tell me, what is the heart behind partnerships for you, and how does Paarl Trail see partnerships even for in the future and now?
I think everybody's got their own opinion about things, but we've just we believe this vision centers around exactly that. It will never work without partnerships. Yes. Taking something, a product, and it can be a great product or a great service, and trying to market it yourself or keep it to yourself, get your own clients and call it protect that. The chances of that working is a lot less than sitting down and saying, hey, let's all work together. We've got one vision, we've got one goal. I mean, when we arrived here, I think there was one mountain bike or one bicycle shop. I think we're sitting on 6 now. Oh. And those mountain bikers or trail runners, they go to all those shops. The same thing with the restaurants. So are you really keeping your clients to yourself? Where if you're marketing together and supporting each other, everybody gets a piece of that pie. And we, like I said earlier, the trails in Hero Legacy are the foundation. We sitting down and saying, here it is, use the product to market your business. Yes. Whether it's a restaurant, you can now offer trails as well, where people can come and hike and run and walk and all of that, and they get these adventure activities on arguably one of the most special places in the Western Cape, being Paarl Mountain. It's such an underutilized tourism asset, and we're really trying to showcase that and make sure that the benefits the entire Drakenstein are there because they are there. The tour, we have not scratched the surface around possible tourism here in Drakenstein, and we're getting there.
I'm sure you get beautiful stories from local businesses that had the buy-in. Can you tell us a little bit about that so that people out there can also, and those who still wants to buy in, can see and have that example of what's happening when it comes to local businesses?
Yeah, I think again you're sitting with such special venues, and people sometimes have got the total incorrect perception about what people how they operate or who they are, and that's a great example is Abby, Charles's sister, that owns Spa Street. The most amazing lady, the most passionate lady and what she's done with Spa Street and bringing all those tenants together, and then we go and have, this year we had 4 national and regional event championships there. Now, all of those tenants benefited, whether it be CBC or Spa Street Wines or whatever the case may be. Now, to some people it might just be a mountain bike race or a trail run that takes place there. But those people have to eat, they have to get there, they've got to fill up their tanks with fuel. So it's not just the restaurants, the food and the beverage and the wine that benefits from it. The entire community benefits, from accommodation to whatever it might be. The Epic last year showcased that in a brilliant way, and I think it was something like 300 million views around the world, and we've seen the benefits come now because the tourism and the overseas tourists. We had a Belgium group here just last week. I think there were about 30 of them that came and spent 3 days here, and they were riding, and 2 of them rode the Epic, and they've now brought 28 other people to the town. And it's about taking that product and making local business, local communities, creating jobs, because now a coffee shop is so much busier, they've got to employ more people, expand, or a hotel. Our legacy project, we created, I think it's in excess of 4,000 days of work last year for the trail builders.
So
now,
it's full circle, you're bringing the look full circle.
That's what it is. It's not us. It's Hero Legacy or Paarl Trails is a foundation. It's what the community does and how you make use of those different offerings.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about the Hero Legacy. I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, I'm on the spectrum. And my son Tane, he's also autistic. And when he was born, we were up in Joburg. My wife and how passionate she is, when we got the news and that Yolandi was like, okay, we're going to figure this out and we're going to find out how we're going to make the best life for him. And she got occupational therapists in and all sorts of stuff around. And we came to this concept. We had started building trails already as how do we build play parks that help with motor skills and keeping kids outside, because the research is there, and it's undeniable that keeping kids outside and keeping them active benefits them in so many ways. And we started building this products and that, and we called it Hero Legacy, and that's where the vision started. And when we moved down to Paarl, we started doing the same. So whether it be helping with some of the creches on the farm and upgrading their play equipment and that. And so from there it evolved into what we call our Trail Warrior project, where what we do is we take guys off of the street that don't have jobs and we give them an opportunity. They go through a program and we can see whether they want to build trails or help with events and maintain the trails and all that type of stuff. And over those first couple of weeks you quickly see whether they want a job or not. Granted, for every 10 guys we get in, probably 1 or 2 of them stay. But over the years, we've built up this network of trail builders that are not only from a security point of view and a safety point of view, they're reliable in that, but they now all feeding their families. On average, there's 7 people in a household. Yes. So we sometimes, last year winter, sometimes we've got 40 trail builders that are working on the trails. But the big thing around that is that gives them a whole lot of skills. And they then can go on and find better jobs, whether it be on farms. We've got guys working up in Joburg and Pretoria and that type of stuff in all sorts of industries. And we want that because when they find that better job to feed their family, the door's now open for the next person to come. So it's this revolving door that goes around. And yeah, it's amazing to see how it works,
Okay, so tell me, if I am a foreign visitor, what would be the gem trail in your eyes?
Oh, jeez.
To do?
Yeah, you've put me on the spot here. I think it's a mixture of.
Yeah.
I think that what Paarl Trails, what the network does is it's something unique to other trail parks or trail
Yes.
areas where you're not on one property. There's
Okay.
48 or 50 different
Yes.
landowners and attractions around this mountain. And our entire network is interconnected. So there's
Yes.
7 different trailheads. You can decide where you want to start. The nice thing is that you can create a ride or a run or a hike that doesn't just go on one farm. So this group last week that I told you about a bit earlier,
Yes.
they were on 6 different farms. So they went from Reeboks Cliff and they had a coffee there and maybe something to eat. Then we took them on the trail. They ended up on Spice Route and they tried all the stuff. Then they were over to Laborie. And so they're getting to experience all these different venues, and each venue has got its own unique offering and that. And when they finish their experience, they'll sit down and they're like, "But where, you don't get this anywhere else." They spent a day not just on a mountain bike. They got to experience great views, but they got to experience all these different offerings. So now not one venue benefited, the entire community benefited out of it. And I think that's what makes it special. You know?
Beautiful. Okay, so has the vision changed over the years?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me a bit about that. How has it evolved?
Yeah, I think it was coming down to build some trails and do
Yeah.
events. Where now what we sit is we sit spending more time on relationships and community,
I love
working
that.
together with the community.
I
I mean,
love
we've
that.
got the foundation classes that we're teaching kids how to ride bikes once a month, and all the schools are getting involved. We help the schools. We donated in the Winelands. We donated over 400 memberships. I think around 400 memberships this year to get kids cycling and running and all of that.
Yes.
You know, so it's evolved into this project where we never saw it coming.
Yes.
It's in our minds a total community project.
Yes.
It's not one business trying to focus
Yeah.
on an event or a group of trails or whatever the case. And every day you get to experience new things, whether it be landowners coming with ideas or farm managers or this or that. I mean, we were helping with the harvest this year. You know, there's so many different things that you get to do. So it's special.
Okay, so for instance, if I'm someone that hasn't learned to ride a bike, I can't ride a bike, but I would really love to do a trail. Is there a place, or do you have a spot where you can teach people how to ride a bike, or even if you want to donate a bike, is there opportunity for that for people?
Yeah,
to
the
do that?
Legacy Project is our charity, and we registered. So there's a lot of the donations that we're very thankful for come through the Hero Legacy, and those funds are used to run the skills development programs or market little things like today and growing the community. And regarding learning to experience, whether it be on a bike or going on a hike, there's so many. We built the network in such a way that there's trails for kids from push bikes. We've got pump tracks. We've got easy trails. Then there's the experience trails that are really, I mean, a lot of the pro teams, what a lot of people don't realize is the new in thing the last couple of years is heat training. Now, where better do you get heat than Paarl between December and March, you know? So now you're sitting with a lot of the pro teams coming out and doing heat training out here. And all of these things present different opportunities, you know, whether it be for other businesses and all of that. But it's the variety that I think is the carrot for everybody to make use of, you know. And I think it's important to say, and that's something that we always like to put across, is that this is not us. We don't want to be the only people doing this. We want the community or venues and that type of stuff bring it, not only buy into it, but take control. Put in more initiatives or whatever. We'll help wherever we can, but the more people involved with these and the more different elements that benefit the overall offering, I think that's what will hopefully set Drakenstein and Paarl in particular apart. I mean, you're sitting with an amazing trail network that Peter van Wyk and them do in Wellington. There's other networks. there's Placide, there's Val de Vie, Barnoak. It's a much bigger network. That network, our Winelands North network, spans about 450 kilometers of trails. And then you've got the bigger regional network, that's 17 different trail networks, that's 1,800 kilometers of trails. So it stretches much bigger than just Paarl and Drakenstein. Our passion is Paarl, but you've got these other trail networks, and everybody's got this vision about the Winelands. And so I have no doubt that this is going to become the trail mecca of the world if everybody just focuses. And
Darren, as you were speaking through the interview, all I keep hearing in my mind is, this is bigger than us.
Yeah.
And that's the legacy that you put out there. What would you say, what does the next 5 years look for Paarl Trails? What does it look like?
I think for us, we were unbelievably blessed this year to see, when you start the kids years ago, teaching them how to ride bikes at our foundation classes, and this year we had the first group of kids that are actually becoming in the professional format, going up and doing national championships and that, and to focus a little bit more on that, and I think us from Yolandi and my perspective, and Duan and Jason and the rest of the team is to be able to sit back one day or over the next 5 years and just see more people taking on the passion around what this possibility is, and making use of the possibility, and realizing that working together is a lot better than trying to do things yourself. And I think if everybody's got that goal in mind, whether you're selling a bottle of wine or serving a steak, there's ways that we can do stuff together, and everybody will benefit, I think.
I think if there's one thing that I've learned today with the interview with you, is that every trail tells a beautiful story.
It does.
And the one thing that I've noticed is that through your interview, it tells me that you're not just physically creating trails, but you're leaving trails for somebody else to go into that footsteps and also do that thing for somebody else.
We hope so, yeah.
We
hope so.
So what would you say, and what would you want people to experience when they do the Paarl Trails from your heart? What would that be?
I think we see it every day, and that's somebody getting off of a trail and smiling and saying that they never ever expected Paarl to be like this. They never, and we get it every day. People have got a perception around Paarl and Drakenstein, around it being a one-horse town, that there's not much to do and there's not many things going on. And after spending 2 or 3 days here, or getting on a trail and that, and saying, geez, I can't wait to come back. We had a lady now 3 days. I mean, we did that big winter warmer this weekend, where it's an annual winter warmer drive where we collect as much blankets and warm stuff that we then distribute to various communities and that. And we had over 200 cyclists, local cyclists, pitch up this weekend. And Yolandi sent me a message, was her and the rest of the team are busy dividing everything, because that's got to start going out tomorrow. And I could be mistaken, it's over 600 items that we got donated this weekend. Now, you sit back and say, that's a community. That's people sitting down and saying, listen here guys, we need a bit of help, and people pitching up and helping each other, and that's really special, I think, so that's what we want to see happening more and more,
Well, there we have it. I don't have a lot more to say, Darren. That was a mouthful, and such a beautiful story, and such a beautiful legacy. And I want to say to you, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you for saying yes to the vision, because it started with you and your family. And I actually want to say to you, I salute you and thank you for taking up that. I think it's not just something that you're doing, it's a calling.
We try our best, yeah.
Yeah, and we appreciate that you create that. And let's be part of that. I think it's one thing that we've learned today is that we can sign up and be part of something great. It's not just for one person to do it, for one family to do it, but we can also add our little and make the world a better place out there.
Thank you.
So thank you for Paarl Trails. We appreciate it.
Cool.
Thank you, Darren.
Thanks, man.